Hello and welcome back to art. This lesson focuses on the artist Mark Rothko. In this lesson, we will explore his ideas about color and his famous color fields paintings. He strongly believed that people should feel something when they look at his art. So some people have very emotional reactions to his artwork. We will explore how artists use color to help express different emotions. I hope you enjoy this art activity. Have fun!
Well, 20 is next. The Mark Rothko, orange, red, yellow. From 1961, the big Rothko showing on the screen there and is illustrated and described in your catalogues. And $24 million starts it. At $24 million now, at 24 million, 25 million, 26 million, at 26, 27 million, 28 million, 29 million, 30 million, 31 million, 32 million, 33 million. Mark's bidder, 34 million, 35 million, 36 million with Loic, 37 million. Against you, Loic at 37, 40 million. Amy's bidder at 40 million. Four of you in a huddle there at 40 million. 41, 2. $42 million. Mark's bidder now at 42 million. At 43 million, you 51 million. Mark's bidder 5 million, and against you, Brett at $75 million now. Yussi's bidder. Against you, Mark. What do you give me? At $75 million. 75,500,000 with Brett at 75,500,000. It's against you, you see, at 75 million 5, 76 million at 76. It is against you, you see. All right, I'll believe you. At 77 million 5 and selling to Brett's bidder, fair warning, all done at 77,500,000. Brett's bidder at 77 million 5.
Mark Rothko was a Latvian-American modern artist. He was Jewish. He was born in a part of the Russian Empire that is now known as Latvia, but lived in America for most of his life. He spoke 4 languages: Russian, Yiddish, Hebrew, and English. A painter for most of his life, Mark Rothko is best known for his color field paintings. He created over 500 paintings during his lifetime. He was also an art teacher at the Brooklyn Jewish Center for over 20 years. He believed it was very important to teach children art. Rothko often worked on a large vertical canvas. He painted many combinations of colorful rectangles. He believed that each painting had a different effect and mood. Now let's take a look at some of Mark Rothko's paintings. As you look at these paintings, notice how you feel. Each painting has a different emotion or feeling, and Mark Rothko wanted people to feel something when they saw his paintings. How do you feel now? Do you feel the same or different? we can connect Mark Rothko's paintings with the mood meter. Using the mood meter, how can we group these paintings? We can group the moods red and yellow with the painting on the left. And we can group the moods blue and green with the painting on the right. Another way to group Mark Rothko's paintings is by using the color wheel. Do you remember the color wheel? Do you remember what colors were on the color wheel? That's right, yellow, orange, red, purple, blue, and green. We can divide the color wheels in half, splitting the colors into warm colors and cool colors. Blues, greens, and some purples are considered cool colors. Red, oranges, and yellows are considered warm colors. Warm colors might make us feel happy, excited, angry, or energetic. Warm colors might make us think of summer, the sun, or fire. Cool colors might make us feel sad, relaxed, calm, or sleepy. Cool colors might make us think of winter, nighttime, or rain. Using the color wheel, how can we group these paintings? Which painting has warm colors? Which painting has cool colors? The painting on the left has warm colors, and the painting on the right has cool colors. Using the color wheel, how can we group these paintings? Which painting has warm colors? Which painting has cool colors? If you guessed warm and cool colors, guess what? You are correct. This painting is using a combination of both warm and cool colors.
Next, we'll take a look at a book that explores specific colors and their associations to different things and different emotions. While you're listening, think about what colors you might include in your Rothko-inspired painting today, and how people might have an emotional reaction to the colors you choose to include in your painting.
We talk about how stop signs all around the world are red, and why is that? It's not just an arbitrary color, it's not by accident. Well, red is the color of blood. So red is going to be something that is used for high alert, something that's scary, frightening, dangerous, hurtful, or even painful. Every culture in the world has this association with blood, so we know that red is our most aggressive color. So if you want to show that something is aggressive and dangerous, red is a good color to use. Orange is associated with a hot burner or hot coals, so they're very useful. You can cook on those coals, but you could also burn yourself as well. So it's a color that grabs attention, it's full of energy, can sometimes be dangerous if you're not careful around it. It's also a very active color. Yellow is associated internationally with the sun, so it's a color of warmth, it's a color of happiness, it's friendly, it's life-giving. So if you want to show that somebody has those kinds of qualities, yellow is a good color to use. Green is associated with growth and vegetables and trees and grass. So it's a color that shows that somebody is growing, somebody is helping or nurturing. It can be a color that would be relaxing, happy, positive, and calm. It's not as active as yellow, but it's certainly positive. Blue is even calmer still, so we have things like the sky or oceans, lakes, and sometimes when we think about things like the ocean or the sky, it's very vast, it's very deep. It kind of goes on so far that you almost can't consider how big it really is. So it's a good color for somebody who has a lot of depth. It's very calm, it's relaxing, it's friendly, It's kind of understanding, it's quiet, and tends to be positive, like a happy sort of a feeling goes along with that color. It's also important to remember that, you know, life cannot live without water, so it's a quenching and nurturing kind of color as well. Purple is associated with sunsets, royalty, the deep parts of the ocean, so it's very, very calm, very still, very dependable, but it's also very, very quiet, almost sleepy. So if you wanted to describe somebody that was calm, quiet, deep, still, and peaceful, purple would be a good color. Obviously, there are many more other colors to kind of consider, so some of the important ones we cover are black, for the unknown and mystery, because it reminds us of a dark cave or a dark forest or charcoal. So it's not a bad color, but it tends to be a color of mystery or the unknown. When you don't understand what's going on or somebody's kind of keeping secrets from you, black can be a good color. White is often seen in cultures as the color of ghosts, so it's a spirituality sort of color. It's light, it's cool, it's clean, might even be considered a bit cold. So white could also be a color for newness, like a baby, and again, like I said, spirituality. White would be a good color to use.
We're moving to the art making portion of this lesson. I would like you to use watercolor paints, if you have them, to create a Rothko inspired painting. If you don't have watercolors, you can use any colored materials that you do have, including crayons, markers, colored pencils, or other materials that are available. Prior to choosing your colors, think about what kind of emotions you want your painting to describe and choose those colors. I would like my painting to make the viewer feel warmth. So I have chosen yellow to begin my painting. The first thing I did with my paintbrush was get my paintbrush wet, and I brought in several drops of water to the yellow paint well. Then I drew a rectangle to begin. Now I'm creating a variety of spaces in the middle of the rectangle where I will include another color later. I've decided my next color is going to be red. So what I'm doing is I'm creating color fields in the manner of Rothko. So I have one rectangle, and then within it I'm going to have two red rectangles. Now in the beginning, when we looked at Rothko's work, we could tell that he had many variations to a color. For example, I just added a little brown to on top of my yellow, and now I'm blending that in with the yellow using the wash technique. So I took a little bit of water on my brush and added it to that brown paint on the paper, and I'm blending it in. So this is going to give me a really deep, rich shade of yellow, and I'll also make sure to leave some other yellow values. So I'm going to have light yellows, medium yellows, and dark yellows in my painting. I'm even adding a little bit of orange now to have like an orange yellow. Remember, when you start using a new color, always go into the new color with a clean paintbrush. We rinse our brush every time we switch colors, and add a few drops of water to the paint in the paint well and stir it up so you create a little bit of a puddle inside the paint well. So I cleaned my brush, as you can see, and I'm adding several drops of water now into the red, and I'm creating some red rectangles in those spaces I left. So I have a color field that is red and yellow. So think back to the types of colors on a color wheel. We have warm colors and we have cool colors. Do you remember which colors, red and yellow, were? Were they cool or were they warm? If you were thinking warm, you are correct. The warm colors on the color wheel are red, orange, and yellow. The cool colors on the color, the cool colors on the color wheel are green, blue, and purple. So in some areas, I'm leaving a little bit of white because I want, and I'm going to use a wash, I want part of my red to look pink, and then I want part of my red to look really dark. So you can see I just added a little bit of black on top of the red, and I accidentally put it in the brown. I want to go back in the black. Put a little bit of black on there. Then I'm going into my water and I'm going to go over that black with the water to create the wash technique where I blend in the red and the black together. So my painting might be a little confusing because in some areas the paint looks light and bright and happy, such as the top where you see the light pink and red. Whereas at the bottom you can see dark red, which kind of gives the viewer maybe the opposite feeling. So in some areas I have light and cheery and others dark and somber or sad. So here I have my finished painting. I put my clean paintbrush back in the set and shut the set. So I came back to my painting in an hour when the painting was dry, and this is the final effect. I'm really happy with it. Overall, my picture is bright and cheery with the yellows and the reds, but there is a little hint of something mysterious in there with the dark red and some of that brown yellow. Now it's your turn to create a color-filled painting in the style of Mark Rothko. Enjoy!